Yeah, and you would have no idea. You know, if Daniel Day-Lewis wanted to lie to your face, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Bro, when Amber Heard and Johnny Depp were having arguments that they recorded, I'm like, this is peak insanity.
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
You have two people who know other people are going to listen to this.
Yeah.
And they're both aware of it because they were told to record their conversations. So they're both being very performative. And they're both like conning each other.
My favorite part is Donnie Chip going, "Don't tell me what it's like to be punched. Punched." The way he says punched, I can't. I laugh every time I hear it. Don't tell me what it's like to be punched.
Isn't that crazy that she was trying to tell everybody that he hit her, but meanwhile she hit him?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll never get over that shit. Like the way everybody just let her slide after that.
It's weird because if that was a guy that
It's like
did something and
tell
made
people
something about some woman and you know tried to ruin her life like that, like he'd be shunned. But there's still people that like, someone tweeted a joke about Amber Heard recently. Who was talking about that, Jamie? And they got attacked by. Who was it?
Oh, they said
God
they
damn it.
said a joke that they didn't even say her name.
Right.
Because we're talking about her.
Yeah.
Will they get canceled?
No, it was just like, it's almost like she's hired like one of those. I'm not accusing her of hiring this, but there are publicity teams that you can hire. So like if people are saying bad things about you, you can hire a team, and those people will go after anybody who says anything bad about you, and it discourages people from talking shit about you.
Oh, but that doesn't work.
It doesn't work, but it.
I guess it lets people know you're not going to be an easy win.
It also makes the argument muddy, because if everybody agrees that she's a psycho,
oh right,
you know, then it's like it's just an echo chamber. But if you get the narrative to like, fuck you, you don't know what happened before that recording, and you know he's an abuser and this and that, and Amber speaks the truth, and she's a woman and she was confused, and like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that will chime in and say those things, and if you're hiring people, if you have like, say if you're a politician and something goes down, and everyone's blaming you for some particular crisis your city has, if you have a marketing team that has a whole social media aspect to it, a propaganda aspect, essentially, you can have a bunch of people arguing for the mayor.
Right.
And he didn't fuck anything up, and it's the city council's problem, and he warned them in 2014. I mean, they can say shit that's not even true.
Right.
And especially if they have these weirdo accounts where it's just a bunch of numbers and letters, and there's no picture attached to it, and you go to them, there's no followers. You're like, this is wild.
I got a lot of shit for my criticism of Amber Heard, but it's like, hey man, I'm not saying she wasn't abused. She was dating a crazy motherfucker. They were both crazy, but from the evidence I heard, she the only one that sounded like an abuser.
But that's the only evidence we heard. When those two were together, see, you got to imagine they were together for how many years and how many drunken fights did they have? Like, who knows who did what to who? But
when you at the point where you. Like, when the bitch shit on your bed, you got to get out.
You got to get out.
You got to get out.
She's a boundary crosser.
I got no empathy for you past that point.
Yeah.
When you got to start recording your spouse, it's time to go. Why even try to win that fight down? Just leave.
I think for people like that, too, because they're so famous, it's probably very difficult to find someone new. You know, you would imagine, like, very few people could relate to them. And, you know, they're both beautiful movie stars, too.
Yeah, but you can find somebody that's not going to shit on your bed.
Yeah, I bet you can.
That's not a low bar to clear.
It's totally possible.
Yeah. Because I don't need, like, if you ever show me that you're going to introduce chaos to my life, you gone.
Right.
I don't got time for that.
Right. Yeah, you got to know when.
Yeah. How many bathrooms we got in the house, bitch? You're shitting on the bed.
What kind of drugs are they doing?
Oh, man. Probably
what
the
kind of
best.
Shit your bed drugs.
The best drugs, yeah.
For sure. I mean, that dude's pals with Keith Richards.